Okay, so hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So our topic for today is correlation together with its coefficient and analysis. Okay, so when we say correlation, this involves a value that represents a relationship between the variables. Okay, so but allow me to discuss the graphical representation, which consists of scatter plots. When we say a scatter plot, it is a graph of an ordered pair wherein x is the independent variable and y is the dependent variable. When we say independent variable, it is the x or the cost variable that is plotted on the x-axis, while the dependent variable is the effect variable, or shall I say y, and it is used as an output and plotted on the y-axis. Scattered plots can help determine whether the correlation is either positive, negative, or not. Okay, so allow me to present different types of scatter plots. Okay, so the rising scatter plot means that the relationship is positive. So this can indicate that the correlation coefficient is positive. While here, this is the falling scatter plot. So this is representing a negative relationship, which means that the coefficient correlation is negative. Or shall I say the correlation coefficient is negative. While here, this is a scattered scatter plot. So this means that there is no relationship. This means that the correlation coefficient is zero. Okay. So allow me to discuss this. Okay. In order to use this formula, we need to find each of the summations. We need to find each of this. Okay. So keep in mind that the correlation coefficient, also known as R, that lies between 0 to 1 or negative 1 to 0. Okay, so here, according to this table, 1.0 indicates that the correlation is perfect, while from 0.91 to 0.99, this means that the correlation is very high. 0.71 to 0.90 means that the correlation is high, while 0.70 to 0.51 means that the correlation is moderate. While 0.31 to 0.50 means that the correlation is low, while 0.01 to 0.30 means that the correlation is negligible, while zero point 0.0 means that there is no correlation. Okay, so Dr. Paul wants to correlate the height and weight of his patients. Find the correlation coefficient of the following. So here is the height and here's the weight. So height is the independent variable and y is the dependent variable. So weight is the dependent variable. So we need to correlate the height and the weight. Okay, so we need to complete this table. So in order for us to do that, we need Excel. So here. So in order to look for x squared, we need to type this value, then press shift, hold shift while pressing 6. So this one. Then this will be an exponent indicator. Then you type here 2. To type for y squared, you click this cell, then you press the exponent indicator by holding the shift key and tapping the number 6 once like this. So this will be 2. Okay. To get the xy, we need to multiply the value of x together with the value of y. Okay, so to make things easier, we need to highlight this, then scroll to avoid time consumption. So this will be the outcome of every value in x squared, y squared, and xy. To get the sum, we need to type sum. Okay, so we need to highlight this. Okay, so to get the sum of the other columns, i-highlight natin to. So ganito ang labas ng sums. Okay, to get this n times the summation of xy, we need to type 8 because 8 is the number of patients. Okay, so yung xy na yan, yung sum, it is here. To get the product of sum of x and sum of y, all we have to do is we need to click this one times, all right, oops, I'm so sorry. We need to click this, the sum of x with the sum of y. So here, to get the n times sum of x squared, you need to type 8 times, then the summation of x squared, so it is here. To get the square of sum of x, we need to click the sum of x, then press hat, then 2. Then in order to get the n times sum of y squared, 8 equals 8 times the sum of y squared is here. Okay. Then to get the sum of y times sum of y, or the square of sum of y, we need to click this, then press hat, then 2. Okay. So what are we going to do here is we're going to compute for the numerator by subtracting the product of n and sum of xy together with the product of sum of x and sum of y. So here is the numerator. Get the denominator of r, okay, we need to type the shortcut of square root, then double parenthesis, then we're going to click n times sum of x squared minus the square of sum of x. Then we're going to type multiplication, then n times sum of y squared minus the square of sum y. So here is the correlation coefficient. Okay, so to make things go shortcut, we need to type correl. Okay, so the array 1 is the first column, while the array 2 is the second column. Okay, so since this is different, so we need to double check if it's right or wrong. Okay. Okay. Okay, oops, I made a mistake. So for corrections, here is the corrections. I just forgot to highlight the 150, 100. Okay, so here we need to be careful about highlighting about this. Okay, so keep in mind that the entire data must be highlighted in order for you to get the correlation coefficient. So now you see that it is exactly the same. Okay, so this is just rounded off. Okay, so as you see that this is matched. Okay, so we can tell that since our coefficient is 0.94, so we can use the table here. We can tell that the correlation is very high positive. Okay, so now we're going to transfer all the data here. Okay, let me transfer. So So here is the data that we had made by completing this table. Okay, so here we're going to compute for the coefficient correlation using the following. Okay, so now we have the data. Okay, so allow me to place each of the of what is being asked here. So we're going to type here. So now we're stating the given. Okay, so now we have stated the formula. So what are we going to do here is we're going to place the formula here. Then what are we going to do is we're going to substitute one by one. Okay, so we have substituted one by one. Okay, so I am teaching how to do the mano-mano computation. Oops. Okay, so okay, so here this is 951. Okay, so now we're going to perform another solution. Okay, so now we're going to multiply. So we're going to multiply. So this will be then here naman, what are we going to do here is okay. So next step is we're going to solve what's inside the bracket. So subtracting. So what will happen? This will be 7462. Then here we're going to do is to subtract. So now we're going to multiply what's inside the square root. Okay, so why I have decided to do the mano-mano? Para sa mga hindi nagko-computer. Okay, so what are we going to do is we're going to type the product. Okay, so here we're going to square root. So this will be 7905361472. Okay, so dividing this, so this will be 0.940916357. Okay, so this is the correlation coefficient. Okay, so I'm just doing this step by step, so this will not be difficult para hindi na tayo masyado mahirapan. So let's double check. Pag dito kasi hindi tayo dapat nagmamadali kasi this is very crucial. So actually, this is approximate na sign. So I have decided na i-approximate na lang siya. Oops. Here. So bakit ganito ang sign? Kasi hindi naman talaga siya exact. Okay, it's just more of the approximation lang talaga. Okay, so once na masyado tayong magmamadali mag-compute, maaari tayong magkakamali dito kasi correlation ito medyo mahaba and this is somehow new to each of us, lalo na sa mga senior, pati yung mga ibang college. Kasi ako, hindi ko to naaral na to nung high school ako. Naaral ko lang ito nung nag-Insta 2 ako, or shall I say inferential statistics, handled by Dr. Arcia sa Lasal. Okay. So we can tell that, can I make a conclusion here? So the correlation between the height and weight is very highly positive. Okay, so that is the conclusion that we can make. Okay, so now we're going to proceed to the next example. So here, Harold wants to determine the correlation between the score in algebra test and number of minutes taken. So we need to find the correlation coefficient of the following. So the number of minutes taken is parang yung time eh. So we assume that the time can affect the score, while the score is the dependent variable. Okay, so now, dating gawin. Okay, so we're going to compute. So what are we going to do here is we're going to highlight. Okay, so here, so let's review. Okay, so in order to get the x squared equals b squared, then hat 2. Then here naman is C2 hat 2. Oh, dahil 86 lies in C2. While here naman, we multiplied 5 with 86, which turned out to be 430. And so on and so forth. Here naman, okay, so what did we do here is 8 times the sum of all xy. Okay, to get this, we multiplied with the sum of x with the sum of y. Oh, to get here naman, we get 8 times the summation of x squared. Oh, here naman, we found the square of the sums of x. Here naman, we multiplied 8 kasi 8 is the number of students. 8 times the summation of y squared. While here naman is, yung sum of y natin is 699 because we added all the values of y. So, then however, we found the square of it by raising by the power of 2. So here. So dito naman, we subtracted here for the denominator. Okay. Then we found the product of two differences. Okay, so to get the numerator, what are we going to do is we are going to multiply. Oops, sorry. We're going to subtract. We're going to subtract the product of n and sum of xy together with the product of sum of x and sum of y. So this turned out to be like this. And for the denominator, we need to subtract this first, the n times sum of x squared with the square of sum of x. Then, for the second factor, what did we do is we subtract with n times sum of y squared and the square of sum of y. So we need to find the difference of both numbers. So here is the difference. Okay. So what did we do next is we found the difference, or sorry, again, we need to find the product of two differences. We need to find the product of two differences. So this is the product. Then afterwards, we're going to find the square root of this number, which is the denominator. To get the r, we need to divide the numerator with the denominator to get up with the decimal value. So based on the interpretation table, okay, so we can tell that the correlation is low since it has a negative sign there. We can tell that it is negatively low. Okay, so now we're going to transfer all the data here. So therefore, here is the outcome. Okay, to get the summations, okay, since we have computed in the Microsoft Excel, we need to type each of this. So this will be 113. This one will be 699. This will be okay. So now we're going to copy paste the formula, then substitute like traditional mathematicians do. Yung n natin is 8, so we're going to multiply this with 2095, then minus 113, then 8 times 61367. Then what are we going to do is we're going to minus this. Okay, so please bear with my typing skills. Okay, so this will be 699. Okay, so in order to compute, okay, so we need to find the product, or shall I say, perform the indicated operations. Okay, so kung magmumultiply po tayo, this will be 78016. Then to get the product, we came up with 78987. Okay, so here naman 16760. Then to get the square, this will be 12769. Then here naman, this will be 490936. While for this one naman, it will be 488601. Okay. So to get the difference, okay, so again, we're going to compute. I have decided kasi na hindi mag-animation kasi gusto ko makita, gusto ko na makita nyo yung how the process must be done. Okay? So 971 in here. Parang nagsosolve lang tayo dito. Oh, so this is 225. So, getting the product. Okay, so yung bracket and parentheses, pareho lang yun, basta group. Okay, so this will be 9,318,985. So we need to get the square root. Okay, so let's make it approximate talaga. Oops. Pasensya na, malikot si mouse. Okay. So what are we going to do here is okay, negative 0.318078946. Okay, so here's what am I going to do. So nag-decide ako na i-approximate siya kasi hindi talaga siya exact. So ibig sabihin nun, okay, can I write the correlation between the number of minutes and scores is low negative correlation. Dahil pasok siya sa 0.31 to 0.50. Kaya siya negative dahil sa negative sign. Oops. Okay. So now, let's explore more about the correlation using the Excel. So I have decided to explore. So we're going to data analysis. Go to data, tapos mag-data analysis. Naisip ko sa regression kasi sobrang detailed ito. Yun si input Y range, yun yung mga values of Y natin. Tapos yung input X range natin, yun yung mga values of X. So yung confidence level natin, dito tayo mag-indicate ng confidence level. Okay, so we're going to type example 2. Okay. So ito yung lumabas. Okay, so ito yung p-value natin. Okay, so this will help us to determine kung nagre-reject or nag-accept yung null hypothesis natin. Okay, so here, based on the data, kaya negative, since negative ang correlation natin, ito kasi absolute value lang ito eh. In absolute value lang siya kaya naging positive. Pero ito yung totoong correlation. So nagsascatter siya. So nagsascatter siya negatively. So negative yung yung dots niya. Okay? So yun sa kanina naman, okay? So allow me to copy paste. Oh, diba? We're going to use the data, then data analysis, tapos regression, tapos here. So we're going to rename it as example 1. Oh, so masasabi dito, paakyat si correlation, paakyat si scattered plot. Okay? Tapos dito naman, pababa dahil negative siya kanina. Okay? So, hiwalayin ko na lang ito para mas simple. Okay? Para mas detailed. So here. So do not forget to subscribe my YouTube channel and hit the notification bell. So stay tuned for more videos. Thank you and God bless you. Have a great day. Happy learning and stay safe. Okay?